can't think of the last thing I lost.
You can't think of the last thing you lost.
I lose things every day.
Are you the kind of person who loses like very basic things like keys, phone? I don't know why I'm asking you this question because
You're bad at that.
I know I'm worse.
I think I don't really lose my keys, phone, wallet, right? They're always on me. And I have trackers in all of them because I have lost them in the past.
Yeah.
I've not really needed them.
See, why is that like a brand new thing? That should have been a thing years ago.
I mean, I actually lost I haven't lost my car key. I lost my car key for like a month and then I found it in my wallet. So,
yeah. Okay.
That does happen. But yeah, no,
I'm pretty... I never lose my keys now because I have every key ring that I've ever owned on my keys, and then I have a mass of keys as well. So
I nicknamed
you and your dad call me the jailer.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, like if I had just like 2 keys on,
have you got them here?
On a chain, no, I've just got the studio keys.
Okay.
But if I didn't have all of that junk on there, I'd lose it all the time.
See, for me,
but it's a pain in the butt.
And I got my keys on me.
Room in my pockets.
That's my keys. You can't see it. You can't obviously see it on the podcast, but there's nothing there.
You've kind of got a Swiss Army knife.
So like a Swiss Army knife. I have 3 keys.
Yeah.
Front door, back door.
Yeah.
Gate.
Yeah.
From my dad's house.
Okay.
And then I have USB sticks.
You still use USB sticks?
Yeah, I use them all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I have all of that on my keys.
Yeah.
So at any time, and also they barely make a noise. I mean, I'm rattling them.
You can hear me coming.
You can hear Emma coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
The jailer.
The jailer. So we're doing a lost and found episode, if you hadn't already guessed. And I thought this would be a fun one to kind of dig into some stuff that, some fun discoveries that we've had, some weird and wonderful, wacky ones like in the news recently. There's some pretty insane stuff.
Yeah.
What is the most... I don't know, the most important thing you've lost or something that you've lost and never found again that you were just completely gutted about? Can you think of anything off the top of your head?
I mean, there's things that I've lost when I was younger that I can't find. But maybe that's different. Like Pokemon cards are all gone.
You were gonna say
they're gone. But I would say more recently, the thing I'm really bad at losing is wads of cash. And that's happened too many times now. I mean, you've been with me both times. You were with me the first time.
Whoa, hang on. This sounds like you're
No, I'm not suspecting you. I'm just saying
suspect.
I'm just saying you know, you've known me long enough.
Yeah.
That time I've lost. I won't say how much, but it wasn't a small amount.
Yeah.
It was a big wad of cash, I would say. I get paid from a job.
Yeah.
Not that all my jobs are cash, of course.
Just don't like it's just the worst thing I could ever imagine losing. I feel like I would feel just like so upset with myself.
Yeah.
If that happened.
I think it's just for me, it's the cost of doing business. You know, like I just if you got cash like that from doing work, you're gonna misplace some of it.
I can't.
But it's only when there's a lot of it I lose it. You know, when I have small amounts of cash, I don't lose it.
I can't remember the last time I actually used cash. Genuinely, I prefer it that way because loose change is just not my favourite thing at all.
I much prefer cash, but everyone's moving away from cash.
Speaking of loose change, it kind of links to the lost and found theme of things, and one of the reasons I wanted to do the episode about this today. But there was, I think, over 1,000 silver and gold kind of coins marked that was found, I think, off the coast of Florida.
Okay.
Spanish. And they have found it. It's worth like $1 million. Off the coast of Florida, these divers found it. I think they make it their business to go around with metal detectors.
Okay, yeah,
which, by the way, like, job that I would love to do.
What, metal detecting?
If I was comfortable just metal detecting, like that feeling of, oh God, what am I going to find today? Like, I follow a bunch of people on TikTok who, like, do beach finds and discoveries, and they, like, pick up different things that have washed up from the sea on the beach. Not like trash, but like...
They only show the good stuff.
Yeah, they only show the good stuff.
Yeah, you know they've been there for hours getting to, or they'll just hide something on purpose.
If you're going for a walk anyway and you live near the sea, like, oh my God, that would be like such a cute hobby to like pick up all these like unique things. But they found a chest full of these marked coins from, I think, like... I guess the Spanish Empire, from what they suspect to be a ship going from Peru to Spain that must have capsized.
Okay.
And my question was like, if you're scuba diving and you come across a big old chest of booty, my first reaction would be like, holy fuck, I'm rich. Like, this has got to be, number one, is it real? But number two, like, if it is, like, however, that is not the case. In Florida, have a law where it's like, finders keepers is not a thing. If you find something like that, treasure trove, it's owned by the state. So, and then 20% of that has to remain public so you can have it in museums.
But why would you go treasure hunting in that state?
I don't know why.
Why would you do that? Maybe there's just the good treasures there.
Maybe they're paid by the state to go treasure trove hunting.
Maybe.
Then that I could get my head around. But imagine you're a tourist, you're scuba diving, you come across, I don't know, some
gold
crazy...
Some
what?
Gold doubloons. Yeah.
Doubloons.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy crap, I'm going to buy that jet ski I've always wanted. No, you're not. Florida's going to absorb that and put 20% of it in a museum. That would be you'd be gutted.
Yeah.
Would you not like hide it and then say you found it somewhere else in a country that the law doesn't apply?
Sure people do.
It was wild. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But I was going to say my most like regrettable thing that I've ever lost is my Pokemon cards too. But then thinking about it now, I remember being a student and I just bought my very first DSLR camera. It was a Canon. Okay. I don't even know what the model would have been. I used some of my student loan and I lost it one night. We must have been out and it just like I came home. I was like, I don't have my camera anymore. That's gone. And for me as a student, I was like, wow, okay, that's a pretty big hit, but I never found it. Never found the Pokemon cards either.
I don't think I've really lost a huge amount. I've had some things stolen while I'm out and about. Yeah. Like little things. So when I used to do a lot of small PA jobs, then I had lots of little kit and I would take them out. I would find, like, there's so many things you don't do that you learn when you do it. You start out and you have no idea. You don't leave a van open, the doors for long.
No.
Or, especially in Coventry. I mean, barely any time. I remember packing down at a venue once and putting some microphones on the side. I was literally, within eye shot of it, but I was turned the other way and someone took them more.
Yeah.
And those mics are £150, £200 each, and they're about 4 or 5 of them are gone.
That's wild.
That happens in seconds because they're so small, they're easy. I've found at festivals that people will take things like CDJs, if you know what CDJs are, because they're so small and easy to carry, and a box of CDJs are about 2K a flight case. So a
CDJ is basically the I guess it's like deck.
It's a deck, but it's a digital deck.
Yeah.
So you can plug a USB stick in, or you can still play CDs on them.
That's wild. I mean,
they go.
It's not like you can fit that in your backpack. Really.
I've seen them stolen at festivals so many times.
Wow.
Obviously, stealing is slightly different, but maybe there's when you lose something, if someone finds it is still stealing it, right?
Well, yeah.
Eventually.
I guess.
But yeah, to be honest, I've not really lost anything crazy. An individual item, but I have lost cash. If I only when I have a lot of cash, which you'd think would be harder to lose. But
can I disagree with you there?
Okay.
And say, haven't you lost speaking of USBs? You've lost a particular USB that has something incredibly valuable.
Oh no. Okay, right, yeah. Okay, so I've lost a load of Dogecoin, a lot of Dogecoin.
Oh, I thought it was
back in the day, but that's on a hard drive.
Or whatever
no. It was Dogecoin, and it was back when Dogecoin was basically worthless.
Yeah,
I had a lot of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm talking from like 2014, maybe. It was
2014.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, like
I talk. A thing then?
Yeah, I'm talking real worthless. I'm sure it was Dogecoin, and it was real worthless. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and I used to get it. I got it from so I've done everything on that. I found my old hard drives. I found the websites I used to store it.
Yeah.
Basically, the hard drive I can't find the hard drive that I stored it on. So I had a cold wallet on the hard drive.
Yeah.
But I'm past that. This is what it is. It is what it is. You get what you get.
Crypto is such an alien concept to me in terms of like. I mean, it's not alien, but like, it's just another thing to like figure out in my mind. I'm like, really?
I used to mine Bitcoin in like 2012.
Yeah.
And and I found a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I bought a Bitcoin in 2012.
I remember
buying it.
Yeah.
And back then, it ain't what it was like now. Even it ain't like it was 5 years ago.
I don't even know what the value is today.
I think I paid about £70 for a Bitcoin. And I had to go and meet a person in Oxford. I basically had arranged. So you go on this app and you find other people that have Bitcoin. You arrange to meet up.
Right.
So I went to meet this person, and I had my wallet on my phone, my Bitcoin wallet, and the guy gave me the Bitcoin, and I was like, oh, okay. So I've got one now. I never knew what they were. I just thought I'd get one.
Yeah.
Back then, and my plan back then was to buy one a week. I was like, you never know what they'll be worth. But obviously then I just didn't.
I remember.
And then I didn't. I think we went, what's the point in that? It would never be worth
so
anything.
many people have had that same thought of, oh my God.
And then
shoulda, woulda, coulda.
And then I remember it was about 2017 before it went crazy. And the van had broken down.
Yeah.
And I needed to do a load of repairs and I needed some cash.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, I wonder what that Bitcoin's worth. I had a look and it was worth £1,000. And I was like, amazing.
Speaking of something stolen, didn't somebody steal the wheels off the front of our tour van?
Yeah, that happened. Yeah. I got that Bitcoin and I sold it for £1,000 and I got the van repaired.
Yeah.
And then about 6 months later, it went to 17 grand. And I was like, well, you get what you get.
You do get what you get.
So
you can't predict it.
You can't predict it. I could have...
To be fair, kudos to you for taking a shot in the dark in the early days of it being a bit of a...
Yeah, I mean, after it exploded and it was more in the news, I was like, wait a minute, I've got some hard drives that I used to mine still on. And that's when I sold that stuff, which, I made more money on there.
At least that'll be a good day when you do find that.
I think it's gone. I'll be honest. I think it's gone. So I'm well.
What stirred up the idea of Lost and Found for me this week was the robbery that happened at the Louvre.
Stealing again.
The stealing.
Should be a stealing
I think
episode,
it's I think it's a thief episode. And the fact that happened, I can't get my head around how easily they took in broad daylight, right? Because we were at the Louvre earlier this year, first time there, and
is it the Louvre or the Louvre?
I don't know. Listeners, tell us. Louvre. I say Louvre.
Okay.
But
you say it with a bit of a French ending.
Are you saying you're saying Louvre because you're seeing the RE on the end? I don't know.
I've heard it both ways, and I don't know which way it is.
Anyway, beautiful building inside and out. And we went in. We saw an Age of Empires exhibition that we didn't expect to be in there. And it was amazing. And just walking around, you kind of get the. I mean, I remember there being security there, but not huge,
not heavy.
amounts.
Only in the big rooms where there was the big stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
When I saw the picture, I don't know whereabouts it actually was at the robbery.
I was trying to figure it out earlier.
We were in a room that looked similar to the photos, and I remember being in that room for a while. You were looking at some artwork in there. There was some angel things, and it was after we'd been to the. Everyone goes to the Mona Lisa, and then everyone leaves basically.
Yeah, that's so sad.
So we went to the Mona Lisa, and then we went to the other rooms.
Yeah.
And then we were in this room and we were in there for quite a while. And that looks more like the one that was there. And I remember looking around at the time thinking, there's no one in this room apart from the tourists that are here.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of artwork and a lot of things on display, but not it was easily accessible. It's not like I could just pick something up and walk away with it. But
I love a good movie or TV series about a heist. It's great.
Okay.
Ocean's 11.
Like a hustle.
The Hustle. If you guys haven't watched The Hustle, fantastic. It's so good.
Yeah.
But anything like that is just so anything with a really clever storyline.
Yeah, that and magic.
That and magic.
Yeah.
What was the magic? Magic Mike. Is that the one you watch? What is it?
Magic Mike. That's a totally different thing. But I have actually done a Magic Mike show once.
What, as in doing the sound?
Yeah.
Why didn't you bring me
Last
on?
Last minute, I was asked to cover one.
Yeah.
In London. I didn't even know what it was until I got there.
Sorry. What are they miking up at a Magic Mike show? Which one?
Well, it's more just playback.
Oh, it's playback.
But,
what are they miking up?
Yeah, Magic Mike. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the Louvre. So what, they tried to take a little crown. They didn't manage to. They dropped it.
Yeah.
They took a necklace that belonged to one of Napoleon's wives. They took that.
Okay. So she's not using it anymore,
Was it a necklace? It was it was a diamond brooch. And so my thought is obviously they can't sell that stuff as is. So the plan must be, number one, maybe they're just
can't you sell it as
stupid
it is?
thieves that don't have any plan. Or number two, they're gonna take all the junk out of the thing and try and sell the bits individually.
Why can't they sell it?
Even if that, surely that stuff is still traceable in those kind of markets, and it's going to be looked at. It's going to have so much heat on it. Right?
Why can't they sell it as it is?
Because it's worth the items that they've taken, 4 items, something like that,
Right.
valued at 88 million euro.
Okay.
Right? So it's not like they can go on the black market and be like, hey, stole this from the Louvre. They can't,
If I've learned anything from heist movies, it's there's black markets and people that will buy that stuff.
yeah.
Right? There's people out there who will pay more because it's stolen.
Do you think their
In their
theories-
special museums that's,
Yeah. I mean, do you think maybe they do it as a mystery box so they don't have to say on the front what it is? Oh, by the way, this mystery box is $88 gazillion. It's wild. I don't know how they managed to do it and get away with it, but
Does it seem very targeted? As in, I'm someone that has millions and millions of pounds, right?
Yeah.
And I go, I really want the necklace that Napoleon's wife wore. So they put the hit out on those items.
Was it that they went for those items or because they were in close proximity to an entrance and an exit, or was it because they specifically chose those items? It turns out the items that were taken were not insured.
Weren't insured?
No.
How does that work?
I guess France, the city has to absorb that cost. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's not like they can buy another one. You know what I mean?
It's wild.
I guess.
Insane.
I guess if you were to have these things on display as a museum, surely a museum has general insurance that they would be covered. You wouldn't insure every item individually.
So the Louis Vuitton, I think it's a museum. The Louis Vuitton line does take out some type of insurance. So this article told me. But for some reason, there's some items in the Louvre that insurance companies, they can't insure the entire contents of the Louvre because the market would be
Yeah,
insane.
I mean, I'm sure they've got the budget for it, though. The amount of people that turn up every day.
How do you insure the Mona Lisa?
Yeah, no.
You can't.
Well, you can't actually insure it. You would have to just, you would have a insurance on what it is but they'll have general insurance, like on the damages of breaking in the building, right? Because there's also cost to that.
Well,
they smashed the building in.
That's the building, and that's another thing entirely, isn't
Probably
it?
stained glass window, smashed. I don't know what it was. It was the old windows.
So
Right.
if you imagine when we were there and I was looking at I can't remember what the statue was, but it was an angel statue.
This is what I'm saying, that room, yeah.
And those windows that were just to the side, it looks like from what I've seen, they hired some kind of, one of those electric podiums that brings you up, almost like a ladder.
Yeah, yeah.
They got up using one of those, got in, got out, and then they tried to set fire to the thing. As if it was going to crumble and turn into dust.
Well, I guess they're
as if
they're
it did
trying
not
to
have a registration
hide,
plate on it. I don't know.
trying to hide who they hide it from or where they got it. Maybe. I don't know.
It didn't work anyway, but it's wild. It would be interesting to see if they ever find it.
So they basically craned their way up, smashed the window, grabbed the stuff, ran back out,
In
and
broad
did it
daylight.
and did it really quick.
Yeah.
I mean, and they got away on motorcycle.
I think either motorcycle. I think motorcycle.
See, now that we've been to Paris and we've been on the streets of Paris on a quad bike,
Yeah.
I can see how you could get away with that quite quickly.
Yeah.
I
mean,
accidentally ran a red light.
people do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lost, but maybe found in the future. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe it will be completely crumbled into pieces though. But
When we went, I was so focused on following the instructor that the lights turned from green to red, and I was like, I'm just gonna go. And I was really close. I just tickled the red, right? But the person behind me just fully followed me straight into the red light. And then as soon as we went over, a police siren went, and I didn't pull over. I just kept going, and he got done.
Yeah.
And I just kept going.
I mean, kudos to our quad bike instructor.
Managed to convince
He
the
managed
police.
to sweet talk but honestly, probably my favourite part of that trip, quad biking across the city. Such a cool way to see the city if you don't have time to hop off and see all the things. If you're going for a quick mini break weekend, I think the quad biking.
It was good fun.
Especially if there's two of you and one of you can hop on the back.
Yeah.
I would never drive in Paris. I would never do it.
It's pretty chaotic.
We've also been to, speaking of trips, the Natural History Museum in New York came up yesterday we were watching, I was going to say an episode of Mythbusters, but I think it was Adam Savage's YouTube channel, where he was talking to one of the curators at the museum about the T-Rex skull. And we were sat watching this YouTube, I think it's one of his recent videos, right? And I was like, it looks really familiar. And I was like, we've been there. We've 100% been there. So, you know, when you can like search on your phone for like a location in photos. And I was like, I know we've been at, I know I've taken a photo of it and I found it. And it made me jump into like looking at the skull a bit more, because it makes me think, oh, I should have read the plaque a bit more, like so I could absorb some of the information. So
did that get lost as well?
The information it did, it's gone. It was gone before today anyway. So it's cool because, and this is like the dino nerd in me, but in terms of what was found, it's the most intact Tyrannosaurus Rex skull ever found.
Okay.
And they had to use, it was by a guy called Barnum Brown. And they obviously used dynamite to like cut through some of the rock to find this stuff. But I think what they also did, if you see the skull, if you're ever in the Natural History Museum in New York, you see that the skull isn't hollow inside. It looks like it hasn't been hollowed where the eyes are, and things like that. And I don't know whether that's something that they did afterwards to kind of keep the integrity of the shape of the skull. But if you go in, obviously the big T-Rex that's standing up is a complete replica, so it's not the real bones or anything like that. But the actual real skull, the one that was found in 1902 by Barnum Brown, is sat in this glass casing. Had I known that when we were there, I think I would have sat there staring at it for hours.
You're going to say you're going to steal it.
Go steal it.
Smash it and get on a motorbike and run out.
I'd need a pretty decent sized backpack, but yeah. And apparently that model of the T-Rex that's like the full replica model that stood up, it used to be kind of angled, so it had its tail on the ground and it was like more arched up. And so its head almost hit the ceiling. But then they found that the tail, they couldn't find any traces of the tail being dragged on the ground. So they kind of came to the conclusion that it must be like leaning a bit forward. So yeah, but it's interesting because that T-Rex skull is responsible for how we envision T-Rexes in our minds today, because we've seen Jurassic Park and because all of the kind of dino stuff in pop culture, it all revolves around like the things that are found, right? And how they can kind of like flesh it out. I think that's the coolest find, one of the coolest finds ever. And I think Montana is a really kind of like prime place for to find loads of like fossils and stuff. But you see a lot of like stuff, you see a lot of stuff online, like fossils online that you can like buy and things like that. And you have to be really careful because there's like replicas, and also real dinosaur bones are like incredibly expensive. And I think people fall for the fact that people can just make replicas. There was this episode of the Vegas, what do they call them? The porn stars, where this guy came in with this like massive, like gloopy rock, it looked like, and he was like, how much? And he's like, what is it? And he's like, it's dino poop. He's like, oh, it's just a rock, mate. And so he thought he had like this dinosaur poo for ages, fossilized.
How did you know it was dino poo?
I don't know. I think he must have looked at the shape, or I don't think it had a particular smell. If it did, why would you hold on to that? But but yeah, he didn't get anything for the dinosaur poop, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a real shame.
I was almost considering for this episode, like putting it back a couple of weeks and doing the random mystery Amazon return packages and getting us both to open one on the pod to see what we get. Okay. For like $20 each or something like that, to see, because I didn't even realize that this was a thing, but we've been watching a whole bunch of, is it Wilney? Is that his name? He's a YouTuber, and they basically buy a load of these like a load of luggage that's been lost at Heathrow or whatever, and then they sit there and they open it and they try and find And most of the time, the people are like not the people, or they're like, "Why do you have this?"
Why do you have my luggage?
But I didn't realize that like you can visit these auctions where you can. I don't know why you'd want to do it, but it's kind of like Storage Wars in a way where you don't know what you're going to get until you get there, kind of thing. But
Sounds like the person selling it's the one winning.
I suppose so. Well, the auction houses, yeah,
The
they know
auction
exactly
houses
what they're
are the
doing.
ones
They can stuff anything into an Amazon package. Storage Wars, if it doesn't exist, would be a great concept for a video game. Maybe there's one already out there, like a Storage Wars simulator of like somebody like rocking up to like.
You don't know what you're going to get. You got to bid on it.
You don't know what you're going to get. You got to bid on it, and then you've got to try and sell it.
See, that's the thing. It's the selling it, right? Because they're like, oh wow, that's worth $500.
Yeah.
But if it was brand new,
Yeah.
and you had the means to sell it, like a
Yeah.
retail store, you're
Yeah.
going to sell it, shift it on eBay. You're going to lose 30-40% of it.
Yeah, and it's also like having like these people must have like such a like niche expertise to know that like this is like a stained glass lamp and it's from this decade or whatever, and knowing what I mean, because we might look at it and be like, this looks absolutely worthless, but then another person might go in who's like experienced at like going through containers and be like,
that's
well,
the key,
actually,
isn't it?
You've got like $5,000 sat here that you could like flip in like a matter of
It's like bargain hunters.
Bargain hunters. I don't know what that
Isn't
is.
that the one where the British show where they go around like car boots and buy stuff?
Oh, okay.
They have an expert with them who's like,
Yeah,
you should buy this, and then they go to an auction and sell it.
Oh, is it the orange guy?
Orange guy.
David something.
Yeah, I can't remember his
yeah,
name, but
yeah. That's cool. I kind of like the thriftiness of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd be good on that show?
I don't think I've been to a car boot since I was
Should we do
10
it?
years old.
Should we do an episode where we go to a car boot, we find all the stuff, and we bring it back?
They are like great prime places to find Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Like, I mean, so yeah, I'm down. I'm down for that.
Car boot. Let's do it.
Have you ever found anything in the back garden or in your back garden as a kid that you thought, wait, what's that? That doesn't belong there. I mean, it's a pretty rare thing.
Nothing's coming to mind. Nothing's really coming to mind that I found.
You didn't get dirty hands-on in the garden?
I did. I just never found anything. I just really, never really found anything.
I remember going as a kid, being taken to Hatton Park Farm or something, and they did this thing where it was like mining for sifting for gold in the river. I remember doing that, and like they obviously put some stuff in there.
He sticks them.
We were like, oh my god, it's really cute. I love that. I hope they still do that. That's such a cute thing.
That's cool.
There's a woman in New Orleans who came across a marble tablet in her back garden, and it said something in Latin, and she worked out that it said like, what does it say? Spirits of the dead. And so like she took it to, it ended up being picked up by the FBI because it turns out the couple that was in the house before her, they just used to use it as a garden ornament, but she inherited it from her grandmother, who I think was of Italian descent. Turns out it was like a grave marker for like a Roman, and I don't know whether he was like in a hierarchy or something, but this grave marker got lost from an Italian museum at some point. I think something happened to the building. This grave marker ended up in a back garden in New Orleans, probably through this grandmother, and everybody else just like looked at it, thought it was a bit weird, just treated it as a garden ornament, like you would your gnomes or whatever, or your bird baths, and
or your dinosaur poop fossil.
Yeah, so it's been handed across to the FBI so they can kind of reinstate it back in Italy, but they couldn't comment because the government is shut down in the US, which is not.
Oh, so they didn't fix it.
Not at all complicated and inconvenient, which is wild. I mean, if the government shut down in the UK, would that like what?
I don't know.
Like, I don't understand how that is ever a thing. That's wild, insane. Cute little find, lost and found story. Hitchhiker cat.
Okay.
In Virginia, in the US. A Lowe's store? Does that ring a bell? Lowe's?
Oh, Lowe's. Yeah. I've heard of Lowe's.
I think it's like an Asda or whatever, or Walmart. They have like a resident cat in Lowe's in one of the Lowe's in Virginia. And he went missing. It turns out he hitchhiked on a truck that came into the distribution center and so he just like ended up like 2 hours away. And then I saw in the photos is they brought him back. They had like a little welcoming committee because he's like a known cat to all the customers and all the employees.
Right, okay.
And you've just got this picture of this cat walking through the Lowe's doors with a big blue carpet and all the employees. And
That's
this cat's
amazing.
like probably wanted to get away from
A
everybody.
known cat.
Yeah. Another thing that kind of popped up in terms of the lost and found things, which was a bit scary. Because when I was researching this, a lot of people were like, oh, look what I found in my garden. And it's like a plastic bottle full of like oil. And it's like, all right, well, it's not, very interesting. But it brought me on to like...
Plastic bottle of oil?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
What?
and it was like granite. I was like, what? It's like... just really
okay.
I mean, there were some interesting ones, like some couple found like a bomb shelter that was like flooded, but some of the contents, it had all the contents like survivalist like stuff, like cans and things like that.
Yeah.
And half of it was like fine, but that's cool. But another cool one that I thought we could talk about, because I don't know if you remember this, of course you remember this, but you were completely oblivious at the time. There was an undetonated bomb that they found in Coventry in the city centre.
Yeah.
And it's quite common, I suppose, in cities that have been bombed, like
I don't think it's common.
Coventry. Well, I say
guess it's more common than other places.
They found one in the Memorial Park. They found one in the city centre. When I say in recent years, like in our lifespan, right?
Yeah.
It's not something.
When would it have been?
Find.
Maybe about 2009-ish.
And I was at home. You were in the Herbert Art Gallery studio. You were on your own.
Which just to kind of explain how that works. So I had this work in this recording studio. Well, what would happen is you could rent the studio for dirt cheap, but you're locked in from 5 p.m. at night till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So I basically used to live in there.
Mm-hmm.
I used to rent it out and bring people in and out. And the problem, and the way it worked is you had to be locked in because it was in a museum, and they basically locked the museum from a security point of view, from an insurance point of view. So you're in a section of the museum locked in at night on your own. Yeah. Very old, creepy museum to add to that.
Yeah.
But
it's going to crop up in
but then
Halloween.
sometimes I just, I'd have a load of mixes to do. So I'd go rent the studio out. I'd go sit in the studio. I'd just be working there. You had these lovely big windows. You could see the city, right? You could see into the city. It was really nice studio space.
Yeah.
And I was in there one night working as I was. And I just saw these police outside. And I was like, I don't know what they're up to. So I just cracked on and carried on. And then I think it was partway through the night where you called me and said, there's a bomb in the city and they've evacuated everybody.
Yeah.
And the police were like, it turned out the bomb was outside the building I was in.
Yeah. Was it by where Brown's used to be?
Brown's. So yeah, if you look at the Herbert Art Gallery on Google and you look at where Brown's used to be.
Kind of in between the gallery and the cathedral.
It was just there, and I was literally sat in the art gallery, right, and I was looking out going, why are there so many police tonight? What's going on? And I was like, well, I couldn't leave the building, right? So I'm just there, just cracking on. And then it was only like the next day. And then the people at the museum were like, you were in there all night? And I was like, yeah, like every night. They were like, they evacuated like all of the city centre. And I was just fully
oblivious.
Didn't have a clue.
That's wild.
Just carrying on.
That's insane. Oh, man.
Happens.
It happens? It doesn't happen.
It did.
Well, it did, but it
There you
doesn't
go.
happen.
So,
It doesn't happen.
it's not the first time. It's not the first time, it won't be the last.
But we're going to talk about the Herbert Art Gallery in the next episode next week, because I thought it would be a perfect fit for a Halloween episode.
Okay.
Because we got plenty of stories.
I got some.
You got some stories. I've got some some creepy, weird, wonderful stories, but doesn't come close to what you've experienced in the ghosty department. Just don't bring them home with you. It's fine.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd just rather not know. I'm happy. They can just do what they want. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna have a bit of a creepy Halloweeny fun episode next week. And just a reminder, if you're over on our Patreon, Emma McGann Patreon, then you get access to a little bonus pod, which we're just about to record for you right now, called After Dark. So if you want to join us over there and get a bonus 10 minutes every single week of the pod, then join us over there. I also post lots of music bits and behind the scenes bits in the studio. But yeah, check it out. And tell us in the comments if there's anything that you've ever lost regrettably or found a really nice kind of thing to end on is, I remember my auntie telling me she went to a charity shop, she bought a bag, she got home, and there was like, speaking of cash, there was like a lot of cash. Like just in
the bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
I mean, that's a really good find. You give it back to charity, but that's a great find.
Yeah. I
see
think
that like kind of.
It all comes around, I lost that cash a few times. People find it. You get what you get. One day I'll find it back. I'll find it. I may not have lost it. Some of it. The most recent one, which was like a few weeks ago.
Okay.
When I lost it, and you weren't happy with me. Were you?
I've got to get you a wallet or something.
Just you weren't happy with me.
No.
I was. So.
Surely you weren't happy with you.
Well, I'll find it at some point. It'll crock up. Like we'll be doing something. I'll be like, oh, there it is. I'll find it. And I'll be like, oh.
I don't know how you lose that, but okay. Well done. Well done if you find it. Cool. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Kinda Wild. Emma here to tell you a huge thank you if you've been listening in to the podcast every single week. We are loving bringing these episodes to you. If we're not nattering in front of a camera and a microphone, we're doing it at home between ourselves alone anyway, so good to hear that you guys are enjoying. If you can't get enough and you want a little extra dose each week, join us over on my Patreon, where we're bringing you Kinda Wild After Dark, a little extra mini pod where we continue the conversation. Thanks, and tune in next week.